Even though we're a small city of 150,000 people, there's a lot to explore and know about the real estate here in San Miguel de Allende.
Hi viewers, welcome back to another video. I am Maya, your interview host for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services here in San Miguel de Allende in central Mexico. Today we're interviewing Greg Gunter. He is the broker and co-owner, along with his business partner Alma Cecilia, of the sole Berkshire Hathaway Home Services office in San Miguel. Welcome, Greg.
Hey Maya, how are you?
Good. Happy to have you here to discuss today's topic, which is very, very interesting. Today, we'll talk about exploring real estate in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. Fascinating topic. Let's start with an overview of San Miguel de Allende. Greg, why don't you give us a brief history of San Miguel de Allende, its cultural significance, and why it's a desirable location for property investment?
Gosh, for years I could write a book about that. That would take us a couple hours if I wanted it to. You know, we're a 480-year-old city. For those of you that don't know that much about San Miguel de Allende, we were founded in 1542, so we've got a lot of history. That's the cool thing about this city. We have become we did become a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008, and we've been named the #1 city in the world 9 times, which is amazing. 5 times by Condé Nast Traveler, and 4 times by Travel and Leisure as of this year, which is 2023 as I speak. We fell all the way to #3 in the world this year. Oh, but that's a pretty good thing for the number 3 city in the whole city. So a lot of culture, a lot of history behind San Miguel, some phenomenal architecture here. Cultural significance you ask about, you know, we were on the silver trade. So there were a lot of multi-millionaires even back in the 16 and 1700s that came through here and said, oh, I'm rich, I'm going to build a cathedral or a mansion or an estate. And so we've got some beautiful architecture that dates back a couple, 300 years in some cases. And it has been very well preserved. So it's a phenomenally beautiful city from that standpoint as well. That's another reason why we've been named the #1 city in the world so many times. And then talking about it being a desirable location from a property investment standpoint, you know, we're in central Mexico, so we are very close. A lot of expats or people that are thinking of becoming expats and looking across the globe sometimes might consider places like Italy or Spain or Portugal, or, you know, those are popular expat destinations. We're only a 2-hour away flight from Dallas and Houston. I'm a 3-hour direct flight from LA. There are many other direct flights that come in and out of here. So it's a very easy to access destination. We're in central Mexico, so the weather's much more temperate year round than it is on the coast where it gets really hot and muggy. So from all of those perspectives, it makes it a really popular tourist destination to come and visit. You know, we get about 3 million visitors a year in peak years here, when you know, the pre-pandemic, for instance, those are some of the numbers. So very desirable location to visit, to own properties as well. And a lot of my buyers will come down and buy something that they're only going to stay in maybe for a couple of months a year, but they rent it the rest of the year. And that's why, is because they can get some really good return on investments from their ownership as a rental property for the rest of the time that they're not here. So that's a short version of what could be a 2-hour answer.
Thank you, Greg. It's very, very interesting. And now that you're talking about property investment, why don't you tell us a bit about the city's picturesque neighborhoods and the lifestyle it offers? I think viewers would be really interested in knowing this.
Sure. So viewers, take a look at the end of the screen here. Excuse me, if you're seeing this on YouTube, take a look at the link that we're going to send you. Our website link is in there. We've got a neighborhoods page on the website that covers 13 of the best neighborhoods. Now, you know, San Miguel has 81 different colonias. The word colonia in Spanish is the word for neighborhood, and we have about 81 of them, but 13 of them are the most popular among especially North American expats that come to invest down here. So again, rather than give you a 2-hour answer, let's talk about maybe 3 of the most popular ones. And of course, the most popular by far is Centro. So the neighborhood called Centro, just like the word sounds, that's in Spanish, of course, but it's the central part of town. That's where the town square is. Here in San Miguel, it's called the Jardín. And that parochia church that many of you may have seen, the pink spired church that's so beautiful in all those marketing photos that you see. That's the very iconic Eiffel Tower of San Miguel. That's the very heart of town. So everything is in a concentric radius out from the parochia. So Central, of course, is the closest area since that's where it's located, and that's where the majority of our sales occur. Most people love to be able to roll out the door and walk to a restaurant in 3 minutes or 13 minutes. I'm a perfect example of that. I live in Central myself. I'm a 12-minute walk to the Jardín, but I can walk to 6 restaurants in 60 seconds from where I live. So Central is very popular from that standpoint because you're kind of, in the heart of the activity. And there's a lot of good areas in Central that you can be that are off the traffic and, not noisy. And, a lot of clients are concerned about the noise level, for instance, of being in the heart of the activity. And there are certain areas that are certainly much quieter than others. That's why you want to work with a very knowledgeable realtor that will steer you to the quieter areas of Central, for instance, if that's where you're looking. Another really popular neighborhood is called Guadiana, and that's just south of Centro. So it abuts Centro on the south end of town. You can still live in the Guadiana neighborhood and be within a 13 to 15-minute walk of the Jardín. It has the city's second largest park, so it's a great neighborhood from that perspective. And the homes there will range from 600 to 2.5 million, for instance. So Guadiana is another beautiful and really picturesque neighborhood. Take a look at the video of it. You're going to love seeing the video of that one. And then just to throw out another one that's kind of a good mixed neighborhood that a lot of people are really interested in. Again, partially because it provides a good mix of residential and some commercial, little shops, little restaurants, fruit and vegetable vendors, those types of things, is a neighborhood called San Antonio, just like the city in Texas. So we have a little neighborhood called San Antonio. Well, it's actually not a little neighborhood. It's our largest neighborhood in town. So again, work with a really knowledgeable realtor that knows the best areas of San Antonio to steer you toward. So those are 3 of our most popular neighborhoods. Give me a call. I'd love to chat with you about the other 10 most popular neighborhoods. We got 13 in general. So and more that I'll be adding, but it's a quick overview of the 3 most popular neighborhoods in town, at least.
Thank you, Greg. I'm sure our viewers will find this incredibly interesting, and I hope they can check out the website and just explore these videos that you talk about of so many neighborhoods, each with its own personality, each with its own different special things. So thank you for sharing. We could maybe narrow it down to the local real estate market and just we can discuss the current state of the real estate market in San Miguel de Allende, kind of connecting it to the neighborhoods, what you're talking about regarding lifestyle and all of this.
Sure. We're filming this team in 2023. This is November of early November of 2023. So to kind of give you a timing, if you're watching this a few months later. So we have followed a lot of the real estate market in the United States. Our market has slowed here as well. More from a matter of people being a little bit more uncertain about the global economy. That's really more what kind of slows us down here. We tend to be an all cash market. So the fact that mortgages in the United States are running close to 8% right now doesn't generally affect our market that much. Mortgages down here in Mexico are even more expensive. They run about 10.5 to 11% these days. So most of my clients that come down here are buying all cash. So they're not so concerned about that as they are kind of the global uncertainty in the global economy. So the market has slowed here. The interesting thing about our market is the upper end, the 7-figure market, and in other words, anything above $1 million, still continues on a pace that's about 3 times what it was pre-pandemic. So the really high-end market is still doing strong. The interesting thing is it's a great time to invest at either end of the spectrum, whether you're in the $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000 range or in the $1 million or $2 million range, because you've got more negotiating room in the market today. It's a little bit more of a buyer's market simply because the market is slowed enough, and so people need to negotiate. The sellers need to negotiate a bit more. So timing is good to come and look at the real estate market in San Miguel now, just because you've got a lot more flexibility in pricing, and you can often find some great options and some great values this time of year.
Yeah, and what about some of the available properties, say from luxury estates down to the more affordable family homes? Could we look into those, talk about these?
Sure. Here's another interesting thing, team. If you'll contact us, one of the first things that you'll get back from me is going to be the Q&A info handbook that we all send everyone. I send it to every one of my clients when we first connect. And I talk about what to expect from a valuation perspective and a lifestyle perspective from different properties and different price ranges. So, luxury properties really can be all over the map. They can be in Central, but they can be in neighborhoods that are up on the eastern side of town, a little further uphill, where you get larger lots, for instance. So you can often get kind of better value because it's not a flat walk to coming into the Jardín. Much of our demographic is a bit older, and so they're often looking for a flat walk. And so the most popular areas are Centro, and they're more expensive. Homes in Centro are more expensive because it's a shorter and flatter walk to get into the Jardín, where all the activity is, as I mentioned. So as you get into more peripheral neighborhoods that might still be walking distance, in other words, you could walk downhill from neighborhoods like Atascadero and Balcones and still be in Centro within under that 15-minute walking radius. And then you might take a taxi or an Uber to go back home. So, those values up there can, or at least those properties up there can provide a little bit of a better value option simply because they're typically on larger lots, there's more land, on a price per square foot basis, they're more affordable. So that's kind of the difference between, the different neighborhoods and the kind of different values that they offer. And to kind of give you a feel for, more affordable homes up to the luxury market, you can buy homes in San Miguel. If you're not a condo person, you want to stick to just a home, you can start at about 350 to 400 to be in a very popular and safe neighborhood in San Miguel de Allende. If you didn't mind being in a condo, you can find condos from the 275 range on up to about 350. So, and they're condos just like in the United States. I guess the bigger difference being that down here they're all gated. So it's a little more exclusive. It's a gated community with very good security. It's like having a doorman, they'll take your packages and collect your mail and things like that for you. But the condos are very popular at that more affordable range. And then from a luxury market, we sort of measure our luxury market from about 500,000 on up. Truly, that might be a little bit more like 750 on up, when you're getting into the real luxury market. And the luxury market down here offers amazing values for what you're getting. So you can, it might be $1 million property. And if you're coming from, the central part of the United States, you go, gosh, $1 million is not a particular bargain for me. But if you look at what you're getting for that value, you would be getting a out of the cardboard box Home Depot kind of home in most of the United States for that. In California, you're lucky to get a condo for that kind of value. And down here, you're getting a truly custom crafted home. Everything is hand done. Nothing comes from a catalog except for maybe some of the faucets. So your doors and windows are all custom made. The stonework is amazing. The wrought iron work is phenomenal because it's all hand done by craftsmen that have been handed down this skill for generations here in town. So the values are just amazing for what you get.
Yeah, it sounds like a great investment. And why don't you share with our viewers some key statistics about property prices and recent trends? I think that would be very important too.
Sure, property prices, as I just mentioned, are probably stabilized now. They were going up quite a bit in 2020, 21 and 22 post-pandemic. Everyone suddenly came down and said, wow, life's too fragile. I want to live in a wonderful climate and in central Mexico. And so we had a lot of people buying in 21 and 22. The market has stabilized from that perspective. So we don't see quite as much appreciation. Centro is still appreciating, but not as rapidly as it was from the last couple of years. So we're seeing a bit more of a stability in the pricing here. And from a trend perspective, I think we're going to stay stable for a while. We, again, are probably beginning to see a little bit of some price reductions because in our weekly real estate meetings, you'll see a lot more announcements for price reductions. And then the negotiating range is a little bit higher on that again. So from a trend perspective, the next probably 12 months or so are going to prove to be really good value opportunities for the buyers that want to come down and take a look at homes through, through the end of 2024. I would highly encourage people that they're beginning to explore that to come down sooner than later, because it's a really good opportunity to come down and take a look at what our property prices are doing.
Great. Yeah. Actually, we should explore some specific property listings on this video. Maybe you can give us a range of perhaps 3 different listings to let our viewers see what's available out there. And why don't we start with a luxury estate, Greg?
Okay, sure. I tell you what, team, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of a couple on the luxury level, the really high-end level, okay? And we'll go all the way down to the much more affordable level so you can kind of get a sense of real homes. And we're going to insert some photos on there so that you can actually see what they look like. The top, very, very, very top of the market here, I happen to have the most expensive listing in the entire city, and it's a $6.9 million home by a Starchitect architect called Ricardo Legarreta. It's kind of like owning a Frank Lloyd Wright home in the United States. He's the only Starchitect listing and home actually in the entire city of San Miguel de Allende. So it's a very famous Starchitect listing. The only other Legarreta on the market currently right now is owned by producer Joel Silver in Hollywood, and that's on the market for $52 million. Mine's $6.9 million. A little more affordable. So you're also getting a Starchitect home in a UNESCO village, but for under $7 million. Great value from a comparative basis. Another good example at the really luxury level is going to be a very, very Spanish colonial home. Believe it or not, it's not 300 years old. It's only about 15 years old, but it's called Casa Alhambra. It's on the market right now for $4.5 million, $4.5 million. It's a 7-bedroom home, huge estate with a swimming pool. This is one of those examples where I was talking about everything is handcrafted. So the fireplaces are all carved Cantera, but they've been aged to look like they're 300 years old. Lots of stonework throughout. The swimming pool is absolutely stunning. A beautiful swimming pool with a stone coping surround around it. Great landscaping. Phenomenal details in this house. It's right next to the Rosewood, so people can walk out the back door from this home and walk right across to the Rosewood. So from a location standpoint, it's phenomenal. But that'll give you an idea. 7-bedroom home for $4.5 million. It's almost 10,000 square feet. So it's a large home. So it sounds like a lot of money, but you're getting 10,000 square feet and 7 bedrooms, and it's a property that could be doubled in size if you wanted to turn it into a hotel. So that's kind of the luxury market. Shall we talk about the mid-level?
Yeah, sure.
Let's drop down a little bit more, kind of depending on where you're coming from. I'm going to talk about one we have listed on the market right now within our office called La Fuente. Now, La Fuente is a gated 18-home community right in the heart of Centro. It's got all the amenities in town. It's got gated security with a concierge during the day, so you can have someone make reservations for you to go horseback riding or to stock the fridge with champagne before you arrive. It's got the clubhouse, the swimming pool, lots of great terraces. They're installing a gym, covered parking, very secure. It's a 4-minute walk to the Jardín. We have that on the market right now for $1.35 million, and it's a 3,200 square foot home with all the bells and whistles. Now, I know 1.35 million, that's mid-level, I'm saying. Remember, we're going to get into some more affordable ones, but listen to this, what you're getting for 1.35 million. Again, that'd be buying you a condo in New York or in much of California. This is a 3-bedroom home, but it's got 3 different roof terraces. It's got an elevator. It's got radiant floors. It's got a water softener. It's got all the full house filtration. Every amenity that you can imagine is included in this $1.35 million home in a gated community with all the community amenities that you could ask for. So that's a great sort of mid-level home. Those of you that aren't looking at $1 million homes, let's talk a little bit about the more affordable range, okay? So again, I'd like to give you kind of 2 examples because they're two different examples depending on your lifestyle. In our office, we have a home listed in one of the most popular golf courses here. It's a celebrity golf course called Las Ventanas. And we have a home listed, it's called Casa Lusitanos. You'll see a photo of it here in the video. It's listed for $569, and it's a 3,300 square foot home, 3-bedroom home, all completely renovated, new marble kitchen. It's got a great wine cellar built in under the staircase. I love that. It's got one of the bedrooms is a mezzanine, so it's a 2-story bedroom with a great mezzanine walk around. So some great features in this home. 3,300 square feet. Like I said, listen to this, team. It's in a golf course community, okay? So exclusive golf course community, all the great amenities, huge clubhouse, swimming pool, pickleball, tennis, all those great amenities, a restaurant on site that you can expect. At 569, team, it's $170 a square foot. Listen to the kind of value that I'm talking about. I don't know what market you might be coming from, but if you're coming from the coast, you would be shocked by that figure because that's probably about a fifth of what you're paying from any of the coastal markets. So great value if you love to live in a golf course community, for instance, 569 for that 3-bedroom home. Now, if you would like to be a little bit more affordable than that, even, for instance, another listing that we have within our office is in a master planned gated community, just about a 5-minute drive outside of town called Zerandero. And we have a new listing in there called Casa Bento. It's a 90-home community. It's gated again. It has all the amenities that you could ever ask for. It's got a golf simulator that you can play 300 different golf courses across the world. It's got a wine cellar where you have your own private wine locker. It's got a lot of the amenities that you're accustomed to seeing in the United States. This is a 3-bedroom developer built, actually, with a lot of custom upgrades. It's an 1,800 square foot 3-bedroom home. Listen to this, team. It's $335,000. It's, again, in a master plan gated community, double level security, all the amenities that you could ever ask for. That's only $185 a square foot for a brand new home with all the upgrades and all the amenities I just mentioned, having your own wine cellar and golf simulator. Imagine that. So 335, I mean, that's running even cheaper than what the average home price is in the United States. So full range, I went from 7 million down to 335. As you can see, you can kind of find homes in the full range of pricing here. Just depends on your budget and your lifestyle and what you're looking for. Give us a call. We'll be happy to walk you through it and put you in whatever destination best serves your budget needs.
All right. These homes are beautiful. And as you just said, they accommodate virtually every budget. So it's not that difficult to find what you're looking for, especially if you have the right agent, right? So I don't know, nothing is more compelling than looking at these beautiful homes, but let's learn more about a compelling argument for purchasing a home in San Miguel de Allende from your perspective, Greg. You could maybe share with us what makes San Miguel de Allende a unique real estate market.
I mentioned a few things that make us unique. I mean, we're the only place I live, work, and play in the UNESCO World Heritage Zone. I mean, how many people can say that? I mean, that you can live in Aspen, but you're not living in a UNESCO World Heritage Zone with 480 years of history. That makes us super unique, of course. The architecture is phenomenal here, but the location, of course, easy to access. Getting here and going back and forth to family or obligations in the United States is a short 2-hour flight. So a lot of those kind of things make us unique. But what really is very interesting from a real estate perspective that makes us unique is we're a market that appreciates well. So in good years, we appreciate really very much like some of the California markets or some of the coastal markets. We can appreciate that much because of the popularity of our destination. Again, when you've been named the #1 city in the world 5 times by Condé Nast Traveler, a lot of people go, wow, there must be something nice about living there. I think I'm going to look at a home. And so that increased demand, of course, raises the prices. So from an investment perspective, if you're looking here, you know that you're going to have some great price appreciation on whatever you invest in. And then if you're not looking for a full-time home, again, we mentioned this a little earlier in the video, you could rent when you're not here. And you do have the opportunity to get a high single-digit or even a low double-digit ROI from a rental income perspective. So those are a couple of things that make us a really unique market as opposed to looking in, other coastal places or, going off to Portugal where you have to plan a whole day to get there and come back. We're only 2 hours from the States. So great location, great appreciation, great investment income potential.
Don't forget about great weather.
Yes, that too, of course. I'm looking outside. Many of you are sitting in the snow as I talk. It's early November, and it's going to be 78 degrees here and sunny today.
Yeah, you should come to San Miguel, and winter is so good here in San Miguel. I love winter time here because it's cold, but the sun is always out. So yeah, it's truly a great city. And now that we've talked about like all the incentives for people to come down here, why don't you give us some expert advice on what to look for when buying property in San Miguel de Allende, Greg?
Sure. Again, it's very helpful to work with a good realtor. So I would always recommend you picking a licensed realtor who has some good history here in San Miguel. They're going to know about the trends and the pricing, history for different neighborhoods. In many cases, for different homes. I mean, for instance, I've been in the industry down here for 12 years. So I've seen some homes sell 3 times in that 12 years. So I can tell you the history about, oh yeah, this guy sold for this reason, and the next time it sold, it was this much higher. And it's always interesting to know the history of a neighborhood in particular, but also of a particular home if you can. So things to look for are, the neighborhoods that are most popular, that are going to give you the best appreciation and the safest security. If we ever had another great recession like we did in 2008, being in Centro or places around that are still within that 15-minute walking radius are going to be the most popular ones. So they're going to maintain their value the most. They're also, in good years, going to have the best appreciation. So make sure that you're aware of the best neighborhoods in town to kind of take a look at. Which ones will appreciate the most, which ones, if you're going to rent it, will get the best occupancy and the highest nightly rates. So those are all things to kind of look for, when you're looking at a particular home. It kind of depends on your specific needs for that property. Some people never want to rent. They just say, hey, I've got 3 Great Danes and I need a lot of yard. And I'm like, okay, I'm taking you up to Atascadero balconies where the lots are large and, you've got lots of yard space and room for, lots of dogs. So, all of us on my team will call you if you're interested in looking here and have a lifestyle conversation with you to find out what it is exactly that you need and where you're looking. And then we'll steer you in that right direction. We'll send you to the right neighborhood and hopefully find a home that fits your lifestyle like a glove, be exactly what you need.
Thank you, Greg. And well, you've been an American expat in San Miguel since 2009. So
2009,
tell us about living in San Miguel de Allende. Let's talk about the benefits of living here. Like, I don't know, the vibrant art scene, its rich history, and the welcoming expat community, which I think is very important.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's the fun thing for a lot of my viewers. If you're an American or a Canadian coming from, north of the border, as we put it, I've been through the exact same thing. Some of the folks on my team have been through the exact same thing. I've been an American that came down and looked at the entire country of Mexico. I knew I wanted something close. I decided very quickly that I couldn't do the heat and humidity of the coastal areas. So I came to San Miguel and fell in love with this place. And I've lived here 14 years, since 2009, and I'm never leaving. That's what I tell my clients. Are going to carry me out in a box. I'm not leaving because I do love the lifestyle here. I mean, as I said a little earlier, I live a 12-minute walk to the Jardín. So I can walk to everything in town. I have a car that's about 15 months old that still only has about 3,100 miles on it because I just never need to drive anywhere. We have everything that we need here in town. Those of you that like the big box shopping, and I go to Costco once in a while myself, I have to admit, that's only 45 minutes away. So the big and the biggest mall in Latin America is also 45 minutes away. So if you need that big shopping, you want to go to H&M or Zara and, Pottery Barn, those kinds of things. I like to buy La Martina polo clothes, and there's a La Martina shop in the mall that's 45 minutes away. So that's nice and close, and that's when we do drive. But otherwise, we walk everywhere, and that's what I absolutely love about it. I'm a little bit artistic myself. Those of you that have been watching a few of my videos probably know that I'm an architect. So I have that creative side, as does the whole city. This is a very creative city that has a very vibrant art scene. So there's an art gallery opening probably 3 or 4 nights every week. So lots of art gatherings and events to do and see. The Fabrica Aurora is a very famous art gallery complex of 43 art galleries. And once a month, they have the Art Walk, where about 2,000 or 3,000 of us gringos go and meet and greet and have a glass of wine and listen to the band and walk around and say hi to each other. And it's a great art community thing that happens every month. So that's the way that the city works. It's a very easy place to meet people. You talk about the welcoming expat, community here. Very easy to meet people. I used to have a rental property here when I was the first decade or so that I lived here. And I would have my guest would tell me, I'd always, get together with my guest for a glass of wine at the end of the day. And they say, oh my gosh, Greg, we're only here the second day and we've already been invited to someone's personal home for a dinner party, not to a restaurant, but to their home. And I said, yeah, that's the way San Miguel works. It's a very, very community oriented, very friendly community where you'll get to meet people very easily. There's 120 actually NGOs in town. So a lot of people will serve on a nonprofit and meet people that way. A lot of the nonprofits have fundraisers as well. And, we'll go to the fundraisers and meet people. So it's a very warm and welcoming expat community. And so even if your Spanish isn't that great, this is the community that you could fit right in and do very well and practice a little more Spanish, como yo. Mi español es muy malo también, pero it's getting better. And you'll learn. It's a great, great community. You'll love coming down to spend some time. Myself or any of my team would love to show you around town a little bit more, and you can perhaps learn a little bit more about real estate as well. But it's the lifestyle that we really like to push down here. So we'd love to give you a little more insight into the lifestyle down here.
It totally is. And well, as you said, there's never a dull moment in this city. Well, viewers, in wrapping it up, we gave you an overview of both the city of San Miguel de Allende as well as our real estate market. You learned about 5 specific property listings that showcase the full range of homes for sale in San Miguel de Allende, from luxury to affordable. And we gave you Greg's compelling argument for why you should purchase a home in San Miguel. So please visit the website link at the end of the video to see some of these actual listings we reviewed. The website is www.bhhscolonialhomesanmiguel.com. On that same site, you'll see the neighborhoods page that provide more detail and videos on 13 of the city's most popular neighborhoods. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, perhaps like the video for us if you liked it and enjoyed the content, and post any comments or questions you may have. We will sure answer every single one of them. So thank you for watching, team. Remember to subscribe. We put out multiple videos weekly on a variety of San Miguel real estate topics. And thank you so much, Greg, for this fantastic conversation.
Great to see you, Maya. Great to see you, viewers. Thanks for joining us again for our weekly video here, and watch for the next one. We look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, Maya.
Bye, Greg. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Bye-bye.